Look, we all want a supercar in the driveway, but my bank account is definitely not ready for that lifestyle yet. That's why I went out and grabbed the 5 best sports cars you can actually get for under $5. I've been putting these through their paces on my desk and hardwood floors to see which ones are actually worth your lunch money. Product number 1. Hot Wheels 10-pack. When I first ripped the plastic off this Hot Wheels 10-pack, the weight of it actually surprised me. There's something about holding 10 die-cast cars at once that makes you feel like a kid again. I spent the afternoon rolling these across my kitchen tile, and the 1.64 scale styling is just as sharp as I remember. Each car has its own distinct deco. That's just a fancy word for the paint and graphics, and they don't feel like cheap plastic knockoffs. What I love about this set is the variety. I didn't just get 10 of the same coupe, I got a mix of trucks and sleek sports cars that actually look great on a display shelf when I'm not testing them by seeing how far they'll coast. Since these are an Amazon exclusive, the assortment I got felt a bit more curated than what I usually find sitting at the bottom of a bin at the grocery store. They're built tough too. I dropped a couple of them while moving things around, and the paint didn't even chip. If you're looking to start a collection from scratch or just want the most car for your money, this is the easiest choice. You're getting a whole fleet for the price of a fancy coffee. It's the perfect pick for anyone who wants that classic push-around play without dealing with batteries or remotes. Since we're talking about tiny cars, let's move into something with a bit more tech inside.
Product number 2. QUFENG Lamborghini Veneno 24:1. Holding this 1:24 scale Lamborghini Veneno, I was immediately struck by the see-through windows. Most cheap RC cars just black out the glass, but with this one, I could actually peer inside and see the dashboard and seats. It's officially licensed, and you can tell because the red paint job looks exactly like what you'd see on a poster. When I took it for a spin, the first thing I noticed were the lights. The headlights actually glow when you're gunning it forward, and the taillights pop on in reverse. It's a small touch, but it looks awesome in a dimly lit hallway. It hits about 8 to 10 miles per hour, which feels plenty fast when you're dodging chair legs in the living room. The remote worked from about 35 meters away, so I could stand in the kitchen and drive it all the way down the hall without losing the signal. One thing to keep in mind, I tried to run 2 of these at the same time with a buddy, and they interfered with each other. So this is definitely a solo driver experience. But honestly, as a display piece alone, it's worth it. The proportions are spot on. If you want a car that looks like a high-end model, but can actually zip around the floor when you're bored, this red Lambo is a solid bet. If you want something even with more control over how it handles, you've got to see this next one.
Product number 3. MIEBELY Bugatti Divo 1:16. The MIEBELY Bugatti Divo feels like a step up the moment you pick it up. It's a 1:16 scale, so it's got a bit more presence than the smaller models. My favorite part about testing this one was the trigger on the remote. Most toy cars are just on or off, but this one has a proportional throttle. That means if I pulled the trigger just a little, the car moved slowly. If I floored it, I hit the full 12 kilometers per hour. It actually feels like driving. The controller is also a win for my left-handed friends because the steering ring is detachable and can be moved to the other side. I spent about 40 minutes driving this on a single charge of the 7.4-volt battery, which is way longer than most RCs in this price bracket usually last. I also noticed a little white dial on the bottom for wheel alignment. I had to tweak it slightly to get it to drive in a perfectly straight line, but once I did, it handled like a dream, even 200 feet away. This is the one to get if you're actually into the mechanics of RC driving, rather than just crashing into walls. It's a licensed replica, so the Divo's aggressive lines are all there. It makes me feel like a pro driver without the $1 million insurance premium. Speaking of detail, I found a little McLaren that doesn't even need a battery to move. Product number 4. KiNSMART McLaren 720. I've got a soft spot for this 5-inch McLaren 720. It's made of die-cast metal, so it has that cold, heavy feel in your hand that screams quality. The best part? The doors actually open. Most cars this size are sealed shut, but being able to swing those doors up and look at the interior makes it feel way more like a collector's item than a toy. Testing the pullback action was surprisingly fun. I pulled it back on my hardwood floor, let go, and it shot across the room much faster than I expected. The white paint job is really clean and captures that supercar vibe perfectly. Because it's only about 5 inches long, it's become my favorite fidget toy on my desk. When I'm on a long call, I just pull it back and watch it zoom past my monitors. It doesn't have the bells and whistles of a remote control, but for a disc-side companion or a gift for a car fan, the build quality is hard to beat. It's sturdy, it's stylish, and it doesn't require me to hunt for AA batteries every 2 days. If you want something that looks expensive but costs less than a burger, this McLaren is the winner. But if you're looking for raw speed and the ability to actually drift, this last one is on a whole different level.
Product number 5. Lamborghini Drift RC 118 scale. This 118 scale Lamborghini is probably the most active fun I've had testing these. Right out of the box, it comes with 2 different sets of tires. I started with the racing tires to see how fast it was, and it clocked in at a wild 35 kilometers per hour. That is incredibly fast for a toy this size. But the real magic happened when I swapped those out for the plastic drift tires. I was doing 360-degree spins and U-turns on my kitchen floor like I was in a movie. It uses a 2.4 gigahertz system, so unlike the other Lambo, I could actually race this one against other cars without the signals getting crossed. The box came with 2 rechargeable batteries, giving me nearly an hour of total runtime, which is rare. The ABS plastic body felt really durable when I accidentally clipped the baseboard at full speed. It just bounced off and kept going. The LED headlights look mean when it's sliding sideways across the floor. If you're someone who wants to actually drive and learn how to drift around corners, this is the one to buy. It's not just a model, it's a high-performance hobby car that's been scaled down for the living room. It's definitely the beast of this list.